Classic dropping a car vlog. Hope you guys are having a wonderful morning, evening, nights, new day, whatever the calendar brings to you. Nobody tells you today, but God loves you, Christ loves you, and I love you as well. I'm praying that you guys and gals have a wonderful day. Know everything's going to be all right for you, and if you're pressing on, continue to press. Make sure you subscribe to the Take It Home podcast where I talk this years ahead, 10 years, no, not say 10 years ago, a lot of stuff. I am thinking about adding my Chris Classic matches because that was my first wrestling name and I was an old school wrestler, so I may do that, depends. Make sure you also subscribe to C3 Ultimate Wrestling, which is what I will be talking about in this video. That is me and my wife's professional wrestling company. We've been going strong since 2019 in the Indiana area. Make sure you subscribe to that channel for a lot of the matches from this year and previous years as well. Also, to share the giving move that we're grateful for, make sure you also get tickets to Big Business, BIG Business, which is February 21st, 2026 in Harold's Private Venue in Dyer, Indiana. Tickets are on sale on Eventbrite. They're $5 off, but they'll be $5 more at the door bars. It's like a signature at this point to put gum in my mouth after I do my promos. Anyway, C3 Ultimate Wrestling to me will be, it has become one of the most, not just the best, but most important wrestling promotions in the independent scene. It is becoming very, very important. When you look at everything that's put together, when you look at the wrestlers, when you look at the stuff that is very compelling in C3 Ultimate Wrestling, the quality, the audio, the video, the editing, and everything like that, people really need to start paying attention to C3, and I thank God that everybody is starting to do that now. More people are showing up, more people are investing, and they're curious to see that. Now, you guys know that I am the promoter and booker of C3 Ultimate Wrestling, and my wife is also obviously co-owner and stuff. So we know that these kind of things are. So if this video does well, I'll start doing the thoughts of it. I forgot what I named this video, but still, being a promoter of C3 Ultimate Wrestling. This is also part one. So if it does well, I'll continue. What's going on? What's going on? How's everything going? But still, I do want to speak about some stuff because I do want to be very transparent about certain things as a promoter. Now, as a promoter and a booker, there's a difference between the two. What's going on, Faith? Shout out to you. First time hearing from you. Difference between a promoter and a booker, right? Promoter promotes the show. They put the money in it. They fund it. They do a whole bunch of stuff to promote the show. The booker puts the matches together and everything like that, and then the stories and everything like that, get the people to come in. Some people have a promoter and a booker. Most people do it together. They do all of it together. We do it together. Me and my wife, dynamic duo. We do it together. What up? We do it together. So being a promoter is it's not easy, but it's fun to me. To have a vision that you want to put together, and then having some of the top talent in the Midwest and the independent scene to get together and bring that vision together, it's very good. It's very cool to see that. As a promoter, I'm a professional promoter, right? So that means that I take everything very seriously because I do feel like C3 Ultimate Wrestling is a form of servitude, and what I do as a promoter is also a form of servitude, which means I want to make sure you guys and gals enjoy the show. I don't want to just do a show and just try to make money. And being in this game for 13 years, I'm doing good. Being in this game for 13 years, it's a lot of people that just try to do the God complex and just like, okay, well, I'm gonna just make a wrestling company and then just make money. And sometimes it doesn't just work like that. I've seen people try to be promoters to a show and then they treat people bad because they are the promoter. Being a professional, like, trying to treat people like not that important and stuff and try to put them below them because they don't know how to be a professional promoter. And I'm going to be here, I'm going to be honest with you now. There's no wrestlers that come in to wrestle for C3. There's no C3. There's none. There's none C3. Do I want to help people get opportunities and stuff like that? Yes, but I will always first and foremost be grateful that these wrestlers took a chance with me, because they could have went to any other wrestling company during the time that I booked them to do something else. Possibly got paid more or paid less, or probably better. Would be like treat people like that. Like, to me, you can treat people with some decency, right? Some people don't do that kind of stuff, and it's like, I've seen it. I've seen a lot of companies come and go because they closed down because either the shows wasn't that great, or the wrestlers stopped showing up, or even scandals because people don't know how to basically keep stuff in their pants to keep their mouth shut online. So I'm grateful. So what I try to do is I try not to blow this opportunity. See, to me, C3 Ultimate Wrestling and promoting it and stuff like that, and even wrestling in general, is an opportunity to me. It's a very big opportunity. So what I try not to do, especially now at 36, is try not to mess up opportunities, because sometimes you only get one shot, right? So with wrestling, if you have a show that bombs, or if you have a show that isn't good, or you book somebody that's controversial, or somebody that, you know, is a sick individual, you could literally mess your company up. You mess up the integrity, you mess up your merit, you can mess up a lot of stuff when it comes to those kind of things. And I try to be careful with who I book and stuff like that. Like, it's very, very important to that certain situation. To me, C3 has a core of wrestlers that I do try to protect, and I try to make sure they're comfortable in the locker room that they're in. And that's very, very important to me as well as a promoter. You know, I go to other shows. I don't go to scope or scout people. I go because I actually like wrestling, and I don't mind supporting people and stuff like that. And I've seen some great matches. I've seen some great wrestlers and stuff like that. And it's like, you can definitely tell the difference between people who actually care about promoting and care about their product, and then some people who just want to run shows. There's a lot of people that want to just run shows. There's more people who want to run shows than be a promoter. It's definitely a difference between running shows and just being a promoter, because sometimes people just say, hey, I'm going to rent a ring, I'm going to rent this venue, who want to wrestle? And then they'll just bring anybody in. They don't vet, they don't do background checks. And I've seen a lot of companies where they have people who need practice, who don't go to practice and stuff like that. All they do is they put wrestling gear on, or they put on some MMA gloves and say that they are a trained fighter. And these promoters, they book them because they think that they are legit wrestlers and fighters, and they're not. And I've seen some bad stuff. I've seen people get busted open. I've seen people get serious injuries. I've seen matches that don't look like matches. I've seen people go viral for the wrong reason. People negative, they disliking it, they making fun of it because they're trying to do things that they are not qualified to do. Promoters should also have some form of qualification. And if you are a wrestler that is trying to be booked at other promotions, you need to do your own background checks when it comes to wrestling. You need to see what's going on. What do they represent? Do they represent wrestling? Like, don't get me wrong, people have their own personal choices of what they do in their life and stuff like that. But at the same time, what do they promote? What kind of stuff are they? Are they controversial and stuff? Who do they book? Do they book professional people, or do they book people that's just there for the moments? Because if they book people that's just for the viral moments, they may not wrestle that good. That's a possibility. Strong possibility. I'm just saying. Why are you doing? I don't understand when you say that. But still, like, to me, promoting is very, very fun. Promoting means I am obviously the main source in promoting the show, because I'm a promoter. And I say this because I am like some of the last remnants of what promoters used to do. And what promoters used to do is, if you wanted to be booked, or if you wanted to get paid, you would have to go out and sell tickets. You would have to go out and sell like 10 tickets to even be booked, or to even be paid. I'm like from that class. Like, I'm from that class, that last of that class that went from you have to sell tickets, you have to fly shows, that like transformed into like big social media stuff, and how people are using social media to promote, and more commercials and stuff like that. So that's where I came from. So I do like that, how I came into the game, because I do see like a big change. Like I said, I've had to sell tickets before to wrestling shows and stuff like that. I had to sell tickets. I had to meet up with a lot of wrestlers to flyer and stuff like that. Now it's a little different. But even then, I ain't never seen a BMW on some dubs before. That BMW sitting taller than my car. That's crazy. Anyway, still, going back into it, a promoter promotes. They are the majority promoter. It's called promoter for a reason. So that means you make the flyer. That means you promote the show, whether it's a newspaper ad or sponsorships or anything. You sponsor the show. I've seen people get mad at the wrestlers for not promoting. Now, I do love my wrestlers that promote, because you do promos. You promote. That's how you promote. But to sit here and try to make them put money down on a company or a show, that's not right, because I'm the promoter. So why even promote if you're like, oh, well, I want you to do this and I want you to do that. Hey, it's y'all fault that we only got 5 people. No, you as a promoter, it is your fault. One, because if you feel like these people were the ones that didn't do right, you booked them. And 2, it's your fault because you're the one that's going to have to put in more of the work. Okay, cool, you put the stuff together and all of that stuff, but at the same time, it is your company to promote. You are the promoter. So you have to do these kind of things. And to me, it does get a little frustrating, because there are a lot of, I've been around promoters when they get mad because they have a low draw and they're blaming it on the wrestlers, and it's not even the wrestlers' fault. Well, y'all wilding today. That's fine. But still, remember, guys, and I'm not, respectfully, I'm not going to keep saying this. We're just going to keep doing action. Let's try to keep it at wrestling. We can compliment each other and stuff like that, but please do not just say random stuff in my chat. Please do not. Let's just focus on the wrestling and the content of wrestling and stuff like that. Opinions you can have, but just not be that, okay? At this point, you know, I know some people are new and some people do that. I know it's like a main thing online, but let's just keep it wrestling, okay? Thank you. Appreciate y'all. But yeah, I've seen a lot of promoters, they get mad at the wrestlers saying that y'all didn't promote enough, and that's why we didn't get a lot of people. And it's just like, no, as a promoter, what up, G? What up, Alex? As a promoter, you got to realize that you got to do that. You're the one that got to be your own foot soldier and stuff. If you want wrestlers to show up and help you promote and sell tickets, that's one thing. And you know, that I'm grateful to have wrestlers and Kev and Dose and all of these people to go out and help me do this kind of stuff. I went to the Harvest Fest at my kid's school last month, and I was there and I set up a table and I was giving out flyers and stuff like that. That's what I'm supposed to do as a promoter. Thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate it. I try my best. I keep thinking about if I'm gonna cut it to a goatee or not, but I don't know. I kind of like the beard look. But still, I know that there are a lot of people that feel like the wrestler should, especially if you become like a well-established independent company. I know a lot of them is like, hey, we need foot soldiers to promote the show. Now, I do understand if you are slowly but surely making it and you making record stuff, you do want to show what wrestler cares about the company. Because to me, that's what gets you booked at C3 as well, is if you show that you care about the company. How quick do you do a promo? How quick do you share stuff? What do you do? How do you show up? What time do you show up to the show? Those things are very, very important, right? So it's cool to see. It's cool to see. Like I said, I do enjoy promoting. I don't enjoy unprofessionalism in promoting, as in people just want to try to make money. And trust me, we all want to make money. But then if that's just the focus, and then you have no good quality stuff, then that's when it becomes a problem. Becomes a serious problem when it does that kind of stuff. So that's just things to think about. Just things to think about. I don't know if I want to continue to speak about this or whatever. Like whatever comes to my mind about the thoughts of a promoter, but I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, C3 Ultimate Wrestling, that is me and my wife's company. I've spoke about it before, C3 as in C cubed, but I felt like C cubed wrestling didn't sound right. But C3 is cubed, means Classic Collision Course, and then the Ultimate Wrestling. It was originally called C3 Wrestling, but then it was another company I saw that was C3 Wrestling, so I was like, you know what, let me just change it and let me own this name. So me and my wife, we do own this name. There's not going to be another C3 Ultimate Wrestling, so I am grateful for that. Like I said, it is fun. I know a lot of the fans, they love the shows, they promoting and everything. And like I said, I have to promote first so people can promote afterwards, right? And that's very, very important. But I wanted to speak about that for a little bit, but I hope you guys, also like making sure you got the best people for music, for Dose and video, Kev, and edits and videos and all of that stuff. And or Sean quickly drinking. Like these things are like very, very important. It's funny. My job's supposed to be like low and bringing samples because they're supposed to be down soon, but they still bringing samples. They are really trying to push this stuff out for no reason. But anyway, still, I hope you guys and gals have a great day. This is Chris Classic. Let's say, huh?